Hey there, fellow dream explorers. Ever wake up from a dream and it's like, whoa, I was just in a totally different reality?
It's so wild, right?
It can be so captivating and honestly kind of baffling sometimes. We all dream, but what's really happening in our brains when we do?
That's a great question.
In this deep dive, we're going to try to unravel the science of dreams. Those nighttime adventures that play out in the theater of our minds.
I love that theater of our minds.
We've got some incredible sources lined up for this one. Interviews with a brain surgeon who actually wrote the book on dreams.
Oh, wow.
We've got the latest research from sleep scientists.
Amazing.
And even some insights from a 103-year-old doctor with some fascinating ideas about life purpose.
I'm intrigued already.
So get ready, because we're about to uncover some incredible secrets about dreams. Learn how to remember them more vividly.
Yes, please.
And maybe even dive into lucid dreaming, taking control of our dreams while we're in them.
Oh, that's like next level dreaming.
It is pretty mind-bending.
It's amazing how much our understanding of dreams has changed. We used to think they were just random neural firings.
Right, like just static in the brain.
Exactly. But now we're starting to realize they're so crucial for both our mental and physical well-being.
It's like we finally realized that dreams aren't just background noise. They're a vital part of who we are.
Totally.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, can we take a step back and get a little Dream Science 101?
Dream Science 101. Love it.
What exactly is going on in our brains when we dream?
Well, the discovery of REM sleep was a total game changer.
Okay.
It showed us that our brains are far from passive when we're asleep. In fact, during REM sleep, our brain activity actually ramps up. Our heart rate and breathing increase. Our eyes dart around under our eyelids.
Oh yeah, I've seen that with my kids.
And get this, our muscles are temporarily paralyzed.
What? So we're basically like temporarily paralyzed.
It's crazy, right? It's in this state of heightened activity that most of those vivid dreams happen.
Okay. So our brains are basically throwing a party while we're supposed to be resting.
Right. It makes you wonder why all this activity. Why do we dream?
That is the million-dollar question.
It's a question that has fascinated people for centuries.
For sure.
There are a lot of theories out there, each offering a piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
One that I find really compelling is the threat simulation theory.
Threat simulation theory.
It suggests that dreaming about dangerous situations might have actually helped our ancestors survive.
Oh, that's interesting.
Imagine being able to practice escape routes from predators or navigate tricky social situations all within the safety of your own mind.
So it's like a virtual reality training ground for real-life dangers.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a really cool idea. That makes those dreams about being chased by something scary seem a little less random.
Right.
It's like our brains were running simulations to prepare us for the challenges of waking life.
And while the threat simulation theory is really interesting, dreams likely serve multiple purposes.
Oh, so there's not just one answer.
Right. Just like our waking thoughts, they can help us process emotions, consolidate memories, and even work through problems.
So they're not just random, they're actually productive.
Exactly. Think about a time when you were struggling with a tough decision or learning something new.
Okay.
Did you ever find yourself dreaming about it?
Maybe.
Your brain might have been replaying those experiences to help you make sense of them.
That makes sense.
It's like your brain is working overtime even when you're asleep to help you learn and grow.
So if dreams are so important, why do we struggle to remember them?
So frustrating.
Right. It's like you wake up with this feeling that you had this amazing, insightful dream.
Yeah.
But then the details just slip away.
Like sand through your fingers.
Exactly.
But the good news is the memories of those dreams might still be in our brains.
Really? So they're in there somewhere.
Or just tucked away.
So like hidden files on our mental hard drive.
I like that analogy.
Is there anything we can do to access those files? To improve our dream recall?
There are some simple but effective techniques you can try.
Okay. I'm all ears.
One of the most well-known is keeping a dream journal. Keep a notebook and pen by your bed and jot down any dream fragments you remember as soon as you wake up.
Okay.
It can really improve your dream recall over time.
So it's like a workout for your dream memory.
Exactly. And it's not just about what you remember in the morning.
What else?
Paying attention to those moments between waking and sleeping can also be really helpful.
Oh, those in-between moments.
Yeah, those fleeting images and thoughts that flit through your mind as you're drifting off or waking up.
Okay.
They can often hold clues to your dream world.
That's a good reminder to slow down and pay attention to those subtle moments.
Right. It's like anything else.
Right.
It takes practice and attention.
So remembering our dreams is a skill we can develop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And here's another tip from Dr. Jandial, the brain surgeon we mentioned earlier.
Okay.
He suggests trying to visualize your bedroom in detail before you fall asleep.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like creating a mental anchor, priming your mind to pay attention to the dream environment.
Okay, I like that. It's like setting the stage for a dream,
Exactly.
inviting those memories to come forward.
It's amazing to think about all the information that might be hidden within our dreams.
Right, it's mind-boggling. And speaking of unlocking potential, what about lucid dreaming?
Oh, yeah.
The idea of becoming aware that you're dreaming while you're still in the dream and potentially even influencing what happens has always fascinated me.
Me too.
I even tried one of those eye masks with the blinking red light when I was younger, hoping it would trigger lucidity.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of those.
I was hoping for a portal to dream control, but it ended up being more of a flickering annoyance.
Yeah, those devices are based on the idea of reality testing, where you train yourself to check for inconsistencies that might mean you're dreaming.
Okay, so like checking if things make sense.
Right.
But are there other more effective ways to induce lucid dreaming?
There's some really fascinating techniques out there.
Okay, tell me more.
One technique that focuses on mental training is called the MILD technique.
MILD technique.
Yeah. It stands for Mnemonic Induction of Lucid Dreaming.
Mnemonic induction of lucid dreaming. Okay, I'm intrigued, but I've never heard of it. What's the idea?
It's all about intention and mental rehearsal.
Okay.
So as you're falling asleep, you repeat to yourself, I will know I'm dreaming. And you visualize yourself becoming aware within a dream.
Interesting. So you're kind of planting that seed of awareness.
Exactly. You're giving your brain a mission for the night, a reminder to stay alert even when you're in dreamland.
I like that. Does research actually show that the mild technique works?
It does. Studies have shown that practicing MILD can make lucid dreams way more frequent.
Wow, so it actually works.
It's like building a mental muscle. The more you practice, the stronger your dream awareness gets.
Okay, I'm definitely going to try that tonight. But let's shift gears a bit. We've been talking about the science of dreams.
Right.
But I want to touch on something a little more philosophical.
Okay.
We also have some wisdom from Dr. Gladys McGarry, that 103-year-old doctor who's all about finding purpose in life.
Oh, yeah. She's amazing.
I'm curious how her perspective connects to the world of dreams.
It's a beautiful connection, actually. She believes in what she calls aging into health.
Aging into health.
And she sees finding purpose as key to that journey. She suggests that our dreams, just like our sense of purpose, can evolve and deepen over time.
So our dreams could actually guide us toward a more fulfilling life.
Exactly. It's not just about the crazy adventures our dreams take us on, but about the subtle messages and insights they might offer.
So you're saying there could be more to our dreams than meets the eye?
Exactly. They might hold clues to our deepest desires, fears, and even our untapped potential.
It's like there's this whole other layer of consciousness operating beneath the surface, sending us messages.
I love that. It ties into some really interesting ideas about the interconnectedness of our minds.
Okay, tell me more.
Have you ever heard of morphic resonance?
Morphic resonance. I've heard the term, but I'm not sure I totally get it.
It's this concept that there are fields of information that exist outside of individual organisms, and that these fields can actually influence how those organisms develop and behave.
So like a hidden network connecting all living things?
In a way, yes. And some researchers believe that these fields might be especially active during sleep, when our minds are less tethered to the physical world.
That's so interesting. So our dreams could be tapping into this shared pool of information.
It's a possibility. It might even explain why certain dream themes are so universal across cultures and time.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. It's like our dreams are a bridge between our individual consciousness and something much larger.
Like a collective unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we're all potentially linked on this deeper level, does that mean our dreams could be influenced by other people?
That's a really interesting question.
Like, could we be picking up on their thoughts, emotions, or even experiences?
There's been a lot of research on telepathy and dream sharing.
Right. I've always been fascinated by those stories where two people have incredibly similar dreams, even when they're miles apart.
Yeah. Or when someone dreams about a long-lost friend and then finds out they were thinking about them at the same time.
It's like in those moments, the boundaries between our minds just blur.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while we don't totally understand how or why these things happen, they definitely challenge our assumptions about consciousness and perception.
It's both exciting and a little scary to think about the possibilities.
I know, right?
But if our dreams can be influenced by other people's thoughts and emotions, does that mean they could also be impacted by negative energy or experiences?
That's a great question. And it brings us to the topic of nightmares.
Nightmares. Those dreams that just shake us to our core.
Yeah, everyone's had them at some point, and they can be super disturbing.
Is there any way to understand why we have them, or are they just random glitches in our brains?
While we don't have all the answers, some researchers believe that nightmares might actually serve a similar purpose to our daytime anxieties.
Really?
Like they could be a way for our minds to process fears, worries, and unresolved conflicts.
So it's like even when we're asleep, our brains are still trying to work through those difficult emotions.
It's like a mental rehearsal for dealing with challenging situations.
Okay, that makes them seem a little less random.
Right. It might not be pleasant, but it could be preparing us to handle tough stuff in real life.
But what about those nightmares that are truly terrifying? The ones that make it hard to sleep? Is there anything people can do to overcome them?
Luckily, there are. There are several therapies that have been really helpful in reducing the frequency and intensity of nightmares.
So there is hope.
Absolutely. One technique that's been particularly effective is called image rehearsal therapy.
Image rehearsal therapy. What's that?
It's basically rewriting the script of your nightmare.
Okay.
You work with a therapist to pinpoint the scariest parts of the dream and then create a new, more positive version of the story.
Interesting.
And then you practice visualizing this new scenario over and over, both during the day and before you go to sleep.
So you're training your mind to create a different ending.
Exactly.
Shifting the narrative from fear to a sense of control.
That's a powerful idea. It's like taking back the power from those nightmares.
Yeah. And it's amazing how our minds can be trained to create new realities, even within the dream world.
We've talked a lot about lucid dreaming as a way to explore the dream world and influence what happens.
Right.
But it can also be really useful for dealing with nightmares.
If you realize you're dreaming during a nightmare, you can actually change what's happening.
You're not just stuck there.
Exactly. Instead of feeling trapped and helpless, you can confront the source of your fear, tell the monster to go away, or even fly above the scary part.
It's like you become the director of your own dream.
It's incredibly empowering to realize you have that agency, even in nightmares.
Even if you're not into lucid dreaming or struggling with nightmares, I think we can all agree that a good night's sleep is essential.
Absolutely.
Are there any general tips for creating a more peaceful sleep environment?
One of the most important is having a consistent sleep schedule.
Try to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day, even on weekends.
So even on the weekends.
It helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle.
It's like setting your internal clock.
Exactly, and creating a relaxing sleep environment can make a huge difference.
Like what kind of things?
Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. You might want to get blackout curtains, earplugs, or a white noise machine.
Okay, to block out any distraction.
Right, and temperature is key. Most experts recommend keeping your bedroom a little cooler than your normal environment.
Interesting. So like around 65 degrees.
Yeah, something like that.
I've definitely noticed I sleep better when it's cooler.
And don't forget about pre-sleep rituals.
Oh yeah, like winding down before bed?
Exactly. It signals to your body and mind that it's time to sleep. Taking a warm bath, reading a book, listening to calming music, or doing some stretches can all help you relax.
That makes sense.
And try to avoid caffeine and alcohol a few hours before bed. They can really mess with your sleep.
Okay, I'm definitely guilty of scrolling through my phone right before bed.
I think we all are.
I know, I shouldn't.
That blue light from our devices can interfere with melatonin production.
Oh yeah, melatonin is the sleep hormone, right?
Exactly. It makes
Yeah.
it harder to fall asleep.
Oh.
So it's best to power down your devices at least an hour before bed.
So give your mind a chance to unwind naturally?
Right.
Okay, I'm taking notes. We've covered so much in this deep dive.
I know it's a lot.
From the science of dreams to techniques for remembering and influencing them to even creating a good sleep environment.
It's amazing how much there is to learn.
It really is. It's clear that the world of dreams is far more complex and fascinating than we often realize.
It's like we each have this incredible built-in virtual reality system in our minds.
Right, generating these amazing stories every night.
It's a glimpse into the hidden depths of ourselves.
And we're only beginning to understand how to use it. We've talked about techniques like dream journaling and the MILD technique.
Right, for improving dream recall and lucidity.
But I can't help but wonder, could we go even further? What if we could learn to actually choose what we dream about?
Now you're talking. Imagine being able to pre-program your dreams.
Like choosing your own adventure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Want to explore ancient Rome? No problem. Desire to fly? You got it. Need to work through a complex emotional issue? Your dream world can be a safe space for that.
It's like having a holodeck in your mind.
The possibilities are endless. Athletes could use it to rehearse their performance. Artists could find inspiration. Therapists could help patients confront their fears and traumas.
Okay, now I'm really getting excited. This all sounds so futuristic. Is there any research being done on this, or is it just science fiction?
Believe it or not, there are researchers exploring this right now.
Really?
One promising approach uses neurofeedback to train people to become more aware of their brain activity during sleep.
Neurofeedback? Is that like those brainwave monitoring devices you see online?
It's similar, but more advanced. It uses real-time feedback to teach people how to consciously shift their brainwave patterns.
Wow. So you could potentially learn to identify the brainwave states that go with specific dream experiences?
Exactly. And then with practice, you could learn to induce those states at will and shape the content of your dreams.
So you're basically learning to speak the language of the brain.
I like that analogy.
This whole deep dive has been incredible.
I agree.
I'm starting to see dreams in a whole new light. They're not just random fleeting experiences, but a powerful tool for understanding ourselves and our lives.
And maybe even exploring the mysteries of consciousness itself.
This has been mind-blowing. And remember, everyone, the exploration of dreams is a journey. Each night, you have the opportunity to become a dreamer, an explorer, a creator. Pay attention to the messages your dreams are sending you.
That's right.
Experiment with techniques for remembering and influencing them. And above all, approach the world of dreams with a sense of wonder and curiosity.
Beautifully said.
So, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you keep a dream journal experiment with lucid dreaming? Or just pay closer attention to those messages your dreams might be sending? The exploration of dreams is a journey, and you, the listener, are the explorer. Sweet dreams.
Welcome back, Dream Explorers. We've been on quite a journey exploring the world of dreams.
Yeah, it's amazing how much there is to learn.
It really is. It's clear that dreams are far more complex and fascinating than we often give them credit for.
It's like we each have this incredible built-in virtual reality system in our minds, generating these amazing stories every night.
Right. And as we've been talking about, we're only just beginning to understand how to tap into the full potential of this system. We've talked about dream journaling and the Mile D technique.
Right, for remembering and even influencing our dreams.
But I can't help but wonder, could we go even further? Could we actually learn to choose what we dream about?
Now you're talking. Imagine being able to pre-program your dreams.
Like choosing your own adventure every night. Exactly. Want to explore ancient Rome? No problem. Desire to fly? You got it. Need to work through a complex emotional issue. Your dream world can be a safe space for that.
It's like having a holodeck in your mind.
The possibilities are endless. Athletes could use it to rehearse their performance. Artists could find inspiration. Therapists could help patients confront their fears and traumas.
Okay, now I'm really getting excited. This all sounds so futuristic. Is there any research being done on this, or is it just science fiction?
Believe it or not, there are researchers exploring this right now.
Really? So it's not just a fantasy?
Nope. One promising approach uses neurofeedback to train people to become more aware of their brain activity during sleep.
Neurofeedback? Is that like those brainwave monitoring devices you see online?
It's similar but more advanced. It uses real-time feedback to teach people how to consciously shift their brainwave patterns.
Wow. So you could potentially learn to identify the brainwave states that go with specific dream experiences.
Exactly. And then with practice, you could learn to induce those states at will and shape the content of your dreams.
So you're basically learning to speak the language of the brain.
That's a great way to put it.
This whole deep dive has been incredible. I'm starting to see dreams in a whole new light. They're not just random fleeting experiences, but a powerful tool for understanding ourselves and improving our lives.
And maybe even exploring the mysteries of consciousness itself.
It's mind-blowing. And you know what? I think the most important takeaway from all of this is that we shouldn't underestimate the power of dreams.
I agree.
They're not just something that happens to us while we sleep. They're a part of us.
Right. They offer a window into our inner world.
And by paying attention to our dreams, we can learn so much about ourselves, our fears, our desires, our potential.
It's like having a personal therapist living inside your mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I encourage everyone listening to start paying attention to your dreams. Keep a dream journal. Try the mild technique experiment with different ways of connecting with your dream world.
It's a journey of self-discovery.
And who knows what amazing insights you might uncover. Sweet dreams, everyone.